So, Dan, you mentioned earlier that you don't think New London could give any more support than it does to the Coast Guard. We are actually, though, in the middle of a very big effort to try to raise funds for the Coast Guard Museum to make this even more of a Coast Guard city. And Tony, you have a very special, there's a reproduction of this painting out in the foyer. There's also an original Tony Falcone out there. Do you want to say a little bit about that and its relationship to the Coast Guard Museum effort?
Excuse me. The painting that Harriet's referring to is called Leading the Way. It's an oil of Bark Eagle, which is the Coast Guard training ship. And I was commissioned to paint that by the National Coast Guard Museum Association. And the idea behind commissioning that was that we would produce some prints of that, and those would be sold to help raise funds for the National Museum. The museum itself is spectacular. It's designed to sit just on the other side of the train station, so it'll be on the harbor side, and there's plans to actually dock Eagle there as part of the museum. So I just am really excited as an artist to see this museum coming together, and to be part of the fundraising effort is really special. There's a lot of money to be raised, and they're hoping in the next maybe year and a half to 2 years to succeed in raising enough funds. I think I just want to make just a little statement about being part of the Coast Guard. It's been 15 years now since I've been working on paintings for the Coast Guard. I finished 10 of those large canvases, one of these of the Pendleton. They're each 9 feet high, and I hope you get to see them. The Academy right now has them spread around the Academy until a reading room is built. That reading room won't get built until the museum gets built, and then I'll have a space at the Academy. So hopefully we'll get to see the museum built so I could see this reading room. But it's just very special. I can't tell you how honored I am to be part of such an amazing service. And all the time I've been working with the Coast Guard, I can't cease to be amazed by the things that they do. So I was sort of privy to the history of the Coast Guard, like I was saying, from 1940 to when 9/11 happened. And in all the paintings I did, I was seeing things and hearing things and reading things that, as a civilian, I had no clue about. And I just wanted to share, for instance, the Coast Guard landed all our troops at Omaha Beach. Nobody really knows that. And the Coast Guard was involved in Vietnam. The Coast Guard was involved in escort duty during World War II, getting our troops overseas safely. And so a lot of these paintings that I did, I was learning pretty much every theme. I was learning something really amazing about the Coast Guard. To talk with Bernie, to see this movie, it's a true story. I mean, it's based on a true story, but having talked to Bernie and then having seen how this movie depicted it, it's part of what I believe the Coast Guard is about. I remember when Bernie passed away, there was a wonderful memorial service for him, and Admiral Thad Allen was there, and he said something that I'll never forget. He said, "The Coast Guard makes the impossible possible. Imagine you're out in the most impossible situation, and then a helicopter shows up and plucks you out and saves you, or a boat shows up like Bernie and brings you back." And I'll never cease to be amazed at what they do.
That's a wonderful note to end on. I wonder if you'd give our panel a warm round of applause.